Coach Aileen, my partner and I are always fighting. This is the issue, the situation, the question that I've been getting a lot this past week. And this is the question that we're going to address in this episode of Fall in Love Friday. So, welcome everyone to Fall in Love Friday live on YouTube. These are weekly episodes where I answer the most common love questions that I get throughout the week. And for those who are new to me, hello there. I am relationship coach Alleen Santos. My background is in counseling psychology, so I'm a registered guidance counselor. I have a master's in counseling psychology and I'm a certified professional coach. And all that means is that the things that I share with you, the love lessons that I share with you here, they are not based on my opinion or my just my experiences. They are based in psychology and what actually works so that you can have better relationships. Because as a relationship coach, my goal is to help singles learn love facts versus love fiction so you can enjoy happier love stories in real life. So this is the question that I have been getting this past week, and it's in the form of different situations, but this is the key issue. Coach Eileen, my partner and I are always fighting. Now, of course, I want to mention it's worth noting that we are not talking about toxic or abusive relationships here or partners. We're talking about regular relationships with its ups and downs where the partners are generally okay. It's just that there's a lot of conflict happening in the relationships. So in this episode, what's going to happen is we're going to cover 5 important love lessons about conflict in relationships. And I hope that you learn from these love lessons. Whether you're watching the live or the replay, please do say hi, post your insights in the comments, and share this video with your friends, especially if you feel that they're going to benefit from these love lessons. And please ask also your follow up questions in the comments because we can also include them in our discussion while we are still on live. This is such an important topic about conflict in relationships, and we are going to learn 5 important love lessons about that tonight. So I just want to share with you the kinds of questions that I've been getting, which is why we're talking about this topic right now. So one of the relevant questions that I got was, if my partner and I are always fighting, does it mean we're not a good fit for each other? Okay. Now, I want to answer this quickly, these questions quickly, but I'm going to still give you the 5 important love lessons. Conflict in a relationship, even if it's an amazing romantic relationship, it's to be expected because conflict is always happening. We're in conflict. We have conflicts with our family members, right? And these family members are people that we grew up in. So we grew up with. So our siblings, our parents, we love them, but we get into conflict with them. So it's not necessarily true that if you're always fighting, you're not a good fit for each other. But okay, and I'm going to put some context into this. Please do watch for our love lessons about this. And I'm going to give them to you in a bit. But you will have to decide for yourself if, the kind of conflict that you're always getting into with your partner is growing you, your partner, and your relationship or not. And our love lessons and love insights are going to help you make that decision. Another question that I got: I can't bring up my honest feelings with my partner because it always ends in a fight. All right. In this situation, again, I'm going to give a bit of insight here for the benefit of the people, of the person who sent in this situation. We sometimes really cannot express our emotions to our partners, not because of their reaction, but because of our own fears. So there are 2 reasons why we can't always discuss our honest emotions. We are afraid of sharing those honest emotions and it comes out, so we don't say we are not able to express ourselves correctly in a way that we can discuss those emotions in a healthy way. But also there are instances where there are partners who are so defensive that whatever negative emotions they encounter that you bring up with them, even if it's really a mild discussion that you're trying to have, it sets them off and they get angry and defensive, and it doesn't end in a good discussion either. So what this simply means is that for a lot of families, and our relationship skills, our conflict resolution skills, they really come from our experiences with our families. What happens is a lot of families avoid conflict, or we get into conflict too much. And all of these patterns are not helpful, and they really come out when we are already in romantic relationships. So we really have to go into our love lessons tonight. And while before we go into the third question, I just want to say hi, a shout out to Digital Fanboy. Thank you so much for being here. You are a consistent student of love. I'm glad that you're here. I do hope that this episode is going to be enlightening for you and for any friends that you might want to share these love lessons with. All right. So question C. We talked about this situation. Partner and I are always fighting. Another situation where one partner can't bring up honest emotions with the other partner because it always ends in a fight. And question C, and this is sad, my parents are always fighting. Sometimes I'm just so tired of it. I think they should just separate, but I deep inside I'm scared that they would, and it will be my fault. So you can see here how the reason why we really need to uh, level up in our own relationship skills is this. It's whatever relationship skills we have that we bring into our own romantic relationships, we are going to affect the next generation. So the next generation deserves our best. The next generation deserves better patterns from us. The next generation deserves parents who have matured enough to learn better relationship skills, better communication skills, better conflict skills, so that they are not negatively affected by these things. Okay. Like I said, though, there will be conflicts. There will always be conflict, but it should not reach that point where the next generation will be scared, averse to scared of conflict, that they will run away from conflict, or they would learn again defective conflict resolution skills. So all of these things that we are learning now for ourselves, they will benefit everyone else who's watching us, but more importantly, the next generation. So we really need to learn these love lessons. And now we're going to go into the love lessons themselves. If any of these really resonate with you, please do share your aha moments in the comments. If you have follow up questions, put them in the comments as well so that we can have a really interesting discussion. And even if you are just watching the replay, please do share your questions and insights as well, because that will also enrich the experience of people who are watching the replay with you. All right. So, love lesson number one when it comes to conflict in relationships. And you might notice in this episode, I'm going to use a lot of quotes from different people. And this is from Dr. Alice Boyd, a psychologist. She says that even in the best relationships, 70% of conflicts cannot be resolved. They just need to be worked around. Okay. I want to put some context into this as well. So when we say resolve, there's like a clear cut solution. So the ones that can be resolved are just like 30%. Okay, and these are really the simple ones, like where do we spend Christmas with your family or mine? Where do we spend New Year? Which school do we choose to go to? So these things. It's easy. It's like a math problem. There's always just a simplified solution, and it's good. Okay, but 70% of conflicts will not be resolved completely. So these are born out of habits. Like here's an example. One partner snores or both partners snore. Okay, one partner really snores and snores really loud, and the other partner really is a light sleeper and is not getting enough sleep, so the other partner gets stressed and tired. So this could be a source of conflict. Okay, so you can't easily resolve the snoring, but you can work around it. So you can find solutions for the snoring. You can find other ways so that both partners will be able to get a good night's sleep and be able to function healthily on the next day. Other conflicts. Okay, here's a big one. If, for example, someone's mother-in-law has a kind of personality that is not a match for the partner. Okay, so mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. So the wife or the husband, they're in conflict with their in-laws, That's something that you can't resolve because there's no easy resolution to that, because other people are also involved, but they can be worked around. One workaround here, especially in this kind of situation dealing with in-laws, number one rule here is, if it's your family that's creating conflict between you and your partner, you're the one whose blood is connected to that family is the one who has to deal with it. Okay, so if it's your family, if it's your friends that are adding to the conflict, you are the one who deals with it. It's not your partner who they might be having conflicts with. Okay, so I hope that is very clear. So that's the thing. Even the best relationships, 70% of conflicts will not be resolved completely 100%. They just need to be worked around. Okay, and how do you work around that? How do you bring a peaceful, good enough or good for now solution to that? Okay, here's the love lesson number two. To resolve the remaining, uh, thir- okay, to resolve all these things, these conflicts, to work around the 70% and solve those solvable 30%, we need good conflict resolution skills. Now, we can't go into the details of these conflict resolution skills because it's an entire workshop. If you really want to learn them, please do invest in conflict resolution skills seminars or communication seminars. But you will need to know, first of all, understand your own emotions. Why are you angry? Why are you reacting this way? So we need to understand our automatic reactions. We need to see the patterns that we are using in our communication, and we need to see our partner's patterns that they are using in communication, and even what are your patterns for when you are in conflict. So there are patterns like stonewalling, silent treatment, walking away. So these are things that are not healthy in conflicts, and so you really have to find out what are your own patterns. And this is really a workshop that you will have to get into, or you and your partner. Ideally, it's going to be you and your partner. But even if you're the only one just goes into this workshop, then you will still benefit from it because it's going to only enhance the relationships that you already have. So good conflict resolution skills are key. And these are things that you may not have learned from your parents. So it's completely fine to seek out these seminars, these workshops, invest in them and learn from them. So maybe even books. But when it comes to books, you might be able to read the theory, but when you go into a seminar or a workshop, you really understand, and most likely there will be role playing. So you're really going to practice better conflict resolution skills, and that is very important. And it's not just for personal relationships, guys. It's also for your work, for your school. It's going to positively affect all these areas of your life. And when it comes to that, here's the thing: because we do have conflict in all our relationships, then relationships are our best growth opportunities. So better relationships, good relationships, they are only reached by people who are ready to grow, ready to mature. Okay? Relationships, good relationships are not for the immature, because you are going to be forced to grow yourself so that you can grow your relationships. And when that happens, everyone wins. Relationships are our best growth opportunities. Okay. Now we go to love lesson number three. And this is a quote from Zig Ziglar. Many marriages would be better if the husband and wife clearly understood that they are on the same side. Okay, so this is an amazing quote by Zig Ziglar. And of course, it's not just for husbands and wives. You will have all of your relationships will have two people in them. So you have a relationship with your mother. So there's two of you there, you and your mother. A relationship with your father. There's two of you. So in all relationships, it's always these two people involved. And whatever relationship we're talking about, it always would be better when both loved ones clearly understood that they are on the same side. You are not enemies. You are loved ones. You love each other. You are in this relationship. And no matter what happens in conflict, because conflict is expected, no matter what happens, when we remember that we are on the same side, that this is a person that we love, then the conflict is going to be nothing. It's not going to be enough to destroy us. It's not going to be enough to bring us down. It's not going to do anything to us because we remember that we are partners. We love this person, and that is much more important than the issue at hand. And when we say also that you are on the same side, then that simply means you are you are working as a team against this source of conflict. And that is another key conflict resolution skill that you will be learning if you do go into seminars or workshops about it. Okay? You are on the same side. You are not the enemies. You are not enemies against each other. You are on the same team working against the source of conflict. Okay, now we go to love lesson number 4. Having conflicts is okay, but putting your loved one down is not. Okay, this is something that's very important. It's okay to have conflicts, it's okay to have disagreements, it's okay to have fights. Okay, but make sure that when you do have discussions about this thing that you are disagreeing on, you never put down your loved one. You never make them the enemy. You never make them feel less of who they are. You never make them the villain. You never make them, wrong for feeling these feelings, for being who they are. So you do not put them down. You do not subtract from their self-esteem. You do not push them down. You do not bring them down. Okay? Because again, this is, all of these love lessons are interconnected. Your loved ones. This is a person that you love. The conflicts, conflicts will come and go, but your loved one is someone who loves you and it's someone that you love. So there is no excuse for putting down the personhood of your loved one when in conflict. Okay, and that is love lesson number 4. And last but not least, we reached love lesson number 5. And this is something that I keep telling people, and this is very relevant to the first question that we talked about. The message sender said, "Coach Aileen, what if my partner and I are always fighting? Does that mean that we are not a good fit for each other?" Here's love lesson number 5. When you and your partner share the same values, it's easier to reach shared decisions because whatever resolution you might have, even if it's a good for now solution, remember 70% of conflicts just need to be worked around. Then when you have the same values, it means that any resolution, good for now resolution or long term resolution, any solution that you come up with as a team will be something that is aligned with both of you because you do share the same values. Okay, which is why I always tell coaches and workshoppers, one key check point that you need to look at when you are getting to know a potential so that you will know if they're a good partner material for you is you have the same values and life direction. And when it comes to conflict, this is big. When you have the same shared values, it's easier to reach shared decisions. I hope that this has enlightened you, and in this episode, just to recap, we learned 5 important love lessons about conflicts in relationships. Of course, these are just, the big picture thing that we need to look at when it comes to conflicts in general. But when you want to learn better relationship skills around this area of conflict, then you can go deeper through seminars, through workshops, or even through books. And this is an answer to the theme of the questions that I have been getting throughout this week, Coach Eileen. My partner and I are always fighting, and I hope that for everyone who sent in those questions and anyone who's watching this replay or this live session, I hope that this has helped you reach these love lessons and learn these love lessons and hopefully apply them into your own life. Please do share this video with other people, tag your friends in these love lessons. And yes, even if you're watching the replay, post your insights and follow up questions in the comments. And remember, every Friday at 9 p.m. Manila time, so that's UTC +8. We have this Fall in Love Friday episodes on live stream here on YouTube. Please do join us in our discussions, and I hope that you really learn from these discussions. And when you have follow up questions, post in the comments because we can make future topics and future episodes about your questions. And most importantly, before I say goodbye, please do share these lessons, not just with your friends, but with your loved ones, so that you can apply them in your life and you can create more love in your life. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Even for those who are watching the replay virtually, we are still together. I'll see you guys again next week. Bye, everyone.